Okay, for those of you who cannot tell, I am not Frankie Mink. I know he usually leads off the show. Frank is on special assignment right now and hoping will be gracing us with his good presence in the next few minutes. So it is my duty to get things going here on the other state of hockey. So Frank will be here at his usual timely self. For those of you who don't know Frank, he sometimes has a problem with his watch. So anyways, we'll go ahead and get things started. My name's Derek Hender. Frankie Mink is not here, but he will be shortly. He'll be joining me in the other chair. So as we normally do, we want to thank everybody for all the great chirps and all the great info and feedback we've gotten on the show. It's been a heck of a lot of fun to this point. Here we are in show number 4, and they said it wouldn't last, but here we are a month into it, and things are going great. So keep the feedback coming. Keep the comments. Keep the positive vibes. And we'll get rolling here. Per usual, we start off with the first period reviewing the week in hockey. So I got to start talking about the East. My boys, Montreal Canadiens, met their match last night with the Tampa Bay Lightning. What can I say? I hate to admit that I called it. I said Tampa in 6. And it was right on. Digging ourselves a 3-0 hole certainly didn't help. A lot of I wouldn't say questionable plays. A lot of plays that go one way or the other are pretty much on the line right there. We had that double overtime loss that, well, the replays tend to show that it was offside. I am not going to say that, but anyways, this is what the pundits say. Those who get paid to do this. We had 1 second left goal in Tampa, which was a bit of a backbreaker. So when you consider that in one blowout, I think we were even money. That being said, Bishop played out of his mind last night, as he has pretty much all the series except for the one time he did get pulled. I think it was game 4. But you can definitely see he's the reason that Tampa got swept last year because he was hurt. And he's such a huge factor. Plays the puck extremely well. My boys were undisciplined, straight up. They just too many times to the box, and they made them pay. Power play for Tampa, I think, was something like 5 for 13 going into the game last night. Canadians were 1 for 13, so that definitely says that undisciplined play gets you in a lot of trouble quickly. How can you not say that Carey Price is worth the Vezina and the Hart Trophy right now? Clearly, his number support being one of the best goaltenders in the league. But as far as the Hart being the most valuable player to his team, how could you not say that? You look at this team, they are not a contender. I would not have normally picked them watching them most of the season as being a contender. But what can you say? He literally threw the team on their back, and that was a reason that they could win a lot of 2-1, 3-1, and 3-2 games. Just don't have enough punch. So unless he can figure out a way to start throwing some pucks in the net, I'm not sure what we can do. We need a big number 6 center. Number 6 winger, top 6 winger. Thank you. Someone who can complement what we already have. What we have right now is not enough to make a big difference. Obviously, we've got a couple of guys, Devontae Smith-Pelly, and that's hyphenated hockey names, I guess, is something I could get onto later. But personally, he's the new Scott Gomez. A lot of hype, has some certain aspects of his game that he does well. See, I don't understand why he gets the playing time he's justified, but what can I say? Contrary to the regular season, Montreal outshot Tampa the entire series with the exception of last night. And that was a complete reversal from the regular season where Tampa outscored, outhit Montreal the entire way. So for a team like Tampa to be 9-2 against the Canadiens, you have to go back a fair ways against, I believe it was Rangers and Philly. I believe it was the last time we had a regular and postseason domination. So what can I say? The numbers don't lie. And I hate to say, well, maybe next year, but we're going to have to get a couple of more players in the mix here before we can do that. Tonight, I know I was saving this because it's Frank's favorite thing to talk about. Game 7, Rangers and Caps. Kicks off in about an hour from now, roughly. I believe 6:05 Central is our puck drop time. In MSG, all games in this series have been 1-goal games. 1-goal games. So we're talking once again strong D, strong, outstanding goaltending. Both teams have relied heavily on their goaltenders, who have had, for the most part, answered to the bell, with the exception of that quick goal that Holtby gave up right off the face-off the other night. I think it was something like 16 seconds in, and it almost fits in with one of my favorite comments about an early goal, is that it happened so quick that the anthem singer was +1. Not everybody gets that joke, but those of you who are really laughing it up right now. For the Rangers, you got guys like Derek Stepan, who's playing well above his pay grade. Chris Kreider been huge in this series. He had 2 goals in Game 6. A man I am not personally a fan of by any means for his reckless playing style. He tends to probably play a little bit too much into goalies. Those you can remember, he put Price out of the playoffs last year with a crease collision that could have been avoided, at least in my humble opinion. So it's certainly, he's a big guy, and none of his goals on Game 6 had any factoring in that because of the fact he was back near the top of the circles when those goals went in. But they were goals when they counted. Last minute of the first period, I believe, and first minute of the first period, that's backbreaker times. You don't want to allow a first minute and a last minute goal. So what can I say? It is what it is. Even money for tonight, other than home advantage, I would say it's even money. Interesting point. You have Ovechkin, who made the comment. I guess you could liken it back to '93 when Messier made the guarantee. Ovi came out and said that he guaranteed win tonight. He said, we're going to play whoever beats the winner of Tampa or Montreal. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. And I guess the main thing to be taken from that is, well, why the hell didn't you say that in Game 6 that we were going to win? You had it at home. You had 2 chances to put them away. That being said, it's showing that the Rangers, are during the regular season were a much better team, much stronger team, and the Capitals are just trying to ride on as much capitalization as they can right now, trying to make the best of capturing the passion they have and the team play that they have right now. So even money, you got to wonder if home ice is going to factor into it. So we'll look at the West here. Last week we had the Wild and the Flames get eliminated. Wild were swept, pretty much as we called it here. What can we say? The Wild are very similar to the Canadiens, and actually so is Calgary. Built strong goaltending, decent D, a lot of speed, pop gun offense. Kerry Ramo was unreal for Calgary. Well played above his pay grade. He's been a journeyman goaltender, has been kicked around, booted around. He's got a closet full of jerseys. And what can you say? He just answered to the bell and was probably the only reason that Calgary pulled out any kind of victories or moral victories in that series. So kudos to him. He is a UFA, unrestricted free agent this year. So we'll see what happens with him. Wild got swept by Chicago, which is not much of a surprise. Once again, same deal. Strong goaltending, decent D, and pop gun offense. So it's a wonder. You got to wonder next year what the Wild and the Flames and the Canadiens are going to do. There's not a lot available this summer in the free agent market. Not a lot of big names, so you wonder what we can do in trades or whatnot. So looking at the Western Conference Final, which we're going to have starting, I believe, here this weekend, we're looking at Ducks and Hawks. Ducks were the regular season #1 seed in the West. Hawks had their ups and downs. There's no question of that. We had Mr. Patty Kane be the big difference down towards the end of the season. He has been lighting it up in the playoffs after coming back early from that collarbone fracture. Looks really sharp. He's confident. The boys are really confident in him. The one thing I'm concerned about is Crawford. If he is going to be their goaltender, which they've flipped and flopped, they've gone back to him. They're going to win or lose based off of him. I don't see them pulling him out and putting Darling in for the sake of hoping that he can pull out the series. So those of you who probably saw the replay, Roosevelt had surgery today on that ugly ankle fracture. It is nauseating to see. It is probably one of the more graphical depictions of a sports injury that you will ever witness. But he had surgery today and is out for 12 to 16 weeks. So it'll be interesting to see. I guess that's kind of 3 to 4 weeks in Kane time, I guess. But fortunately, it's the end of the season for him, and he'll have all season to recover. And all indications are that he'll be back next year, ready to go. We will see. He is 36 years old, and you have to wonder how much longer he's going to hang on. But good for him that he's going to make a full recovery, and we hope he does well. So I guess the question is, here we have two strong teams, very much alike. A lot of good offense in there, a lot of good defense. Match up pretty evenly in goaltending. Probably give the edge to Anaheim in goaltending. Anderson's really established himself, just being the second-year guy in the league now. Crawford, of course, who's won a Stanley Cup. I'd like to say has been on a Stanley Cup winner. He did not win them a Stanley Cup. He did not have to steal games for them, nor did Antti Niemi before him. I'm pretty sure that you could have put a traffic cone in net and they would have won half those games. That being said, Crawford's still the money man, still done it. So you just can't help but see the whole bench cringe a little bit when Crawford's in net, because he's the kind of guy like Marty Turco who will make an outstanding save that he has no business making, and then turn around at the same time and just be an absolute bag of holes. So, like I said, they're going to live and die by whatever way Crawford goes, whichever one shows up for this series. So, like I said, a little edge to Anaheim probably there. So when you look at offense, we have Perry and Getzlaf against Kane and Taves. It'll be interesting to see how those go. The matchups, I tend to, from my experience, from what I've seen, you see a lot of those big lines canceling each other out. You see those big lines matching up against each other, and they're kind of like the immovable object and the irresistible force. They seem to cancel each other out because they just are so good, so fast, so smart that neither one gets any room to get anything going. So we look for the odd line matches in that. So you look second and third and even fourth line. So that will be the determiner, I think, of this series. You will see a couple kicked in by the big guys, but look for the performance and the game breakers from the third and fourth liners. No question, that can be the only way this series is going to end up, in my money. It's not going to be a quick series. I have a feeling this is going at least 6, if not 7. It has to, just because of the even matchup. It's going to be fantastic hockey. No question in my mind that this is going to be the series to watch. From the East, we're looking at Tampa versus what matches up from tonight's game. Somewhat anticlimactic, I guess. I don't really see either Washington or Tampa, possibly Tampa giving the Rangers a bit of a run, but we guess we're going to have to just hang on and see. Out of those three, I tend to think Tampa's coming. Tampa and the Islanders, Rangers, will be matched up in the Eastern Conference Final. For those of you who can't tell, the lovely thing about spring, pollen count is through the roof, and my allergies are driving me crazy. So I'm hoping for my friend here, Mr. Caffeine, to kick in any time here. And well, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb right now. I'm going to say Ducks are going to be the Stanley Cup champions this year. I know I have friends of mine who are Hawks fans, one or two that are Rangers fans, and well, I'm going with the smart money here, honestly. I'm seeing Ducks going to the Cup final. I'm seeing them taking it from anybody who comes out of the East, to be quite honest. So with that being said, still has not yet been a Frank sighting. I'm sure wherever he is, it's very important. And, well, time marches on and the game marches on without any one player. We saw the Lightning pick it up last night without one of their guns being ready to go. So I am going to pick it up and tough it out and keep pushing ahead. Be back in a couple of minutes after we pay the bills with the second period. Over to you, Maddie.
Real Estate Concept Studios. This is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can give these grandkids back, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We can help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hey, psst. Let me let you in on a little secret. You ready? Always try to do business with people, not places. Especially if you seek honest Christian business people. And when it comes to my car, I really need to trust who's working on it. Now, my family is so blessed. A few years ago, we found a family-owned automobile repair shop that operates as a Christian business also. Open, honest, reliable, trustworthy. It's AMCO on Hickman Road in front of Kmart, and it's a family-owned Christian operating business. This family treats your car as if it was their car. Everything from oil changes to transmission repair and everything in between. So the next time you feel the need to be at peace with your choice of who you can trust with your car, give AMCO on Hickman a chance to serve you. And tell them Max sent you.
All right, we're back to the other state of hockey. And, well, bless my soul, look who wandered in the door. It is none other than my co-host, Frankie Mink. There you are, buddy.
So, I have to tell you, hey, Maddie, watch this. Yeah, you. Still eating. Okay. So, I was a little late because I was mining. But then I came back, and I was even a little bit later because I was weighed down by, look at these bad boys. Whew. Can you see these, Matt? See these, Matt? Hey. Hey, girl in there.
You can knock on the glass, but I'd be afraid you beat it out.
These things are so heavy.
Wow.
So our boys did real well. We did real well.
That's from Narch?
That's from Narch. Silver in AAA, 10Us. And then silver in 8Us, probably just be single A. Rough tournament.
Yeah.
12Us had a rough tournament.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Absolutely. But as if you look on our Facebook page, listen to these things. I mean, this is bling bling. I mean,
clank, actually.
I mean, there was girls checking me out. I mean, they're like, whoa. I mean, I was like, I know. Look at me. Then I tell them I'm a coach of the team. And I'm like, oh. Really? And you know, a youth hockey coach, we're really just glamorized skate tires. Right?
That's once you get past Pee Wee, yes.
Yes. And I know we want to get on to other stuff, just me jumping in and ruining the show. But, you know, we had 12Us had some issues. We lost a couple games. We even got mercied once, which is hard for our boys.
It's practically unheard of for your boys.
Yeah. It was a tough team. But you've seen the video, right? Do you see that video?
Yeah.
And for all you Facebook people, please go check out my son made the national highlight reel for Narch.
Nice.
On an amazing play. And you've seen him play. For any of the people that listen to her, I mean, he plays like me, diving and, you know, and that's usually because I still have my skate guard on. But anyway, beautiful play and super proud of him because the week before he was hurt by a shot, had to leave the game, and for him to go back in and take a shot was it's very, very proud, very proud dad moment. So anyway,
he is the quintessential example of not the size of the dog in the fight, but the fight in the dog.
And he probably blocks 3-4 shots a game. So anyway, super proud of him. So take a look at that Narch video. They only had 3 highlights, and the runner, the guy that runs them, Narch, wrote me and just said, I said, hey, thanks for using my boy's highlight. And he goes, literally, that was my highlight. Like, he loved that play.
Nice.
So
nice.
So there you go.
Haven't talked to you much since last week. How's the other side of 40 treating you now?
You know, it's when you turn 40, and I didn't think I was going to make 40. With the life I've lived, as some of you know, I did not think I was going to make it. And when I got back, a lot of reflection, a lot of good reflection, bad reflections on life, but just a lot of good memories. And, you know, one of the things I got to do was I sat back and I looked at where my life is today and how blessed I am. I mean, really, wife, I mean, friends, you, cooker, I mean, just the great friends I have in my life today, I wouldn't change for the world, and I'm an adult. You know, and I have adult well, we're somewhat adults, so.
Well, we're older.
Well, yeah. You know, I'm an adult when my wife's around, so.
Give or take.
Anyway, it was very humbling to look at that, where I am in life today and how grateful I am where I am and who I know, and you know, just, you know, the love of sport and to be so involved with the sport that I am, as yourself, you are too. I mean, you can't beat it, man. I mean, working in hockey is just a dream. And I get to wear my skates probably 6 nights a week, and I get paid to do it. Like, are you kidding me? It's amazing. So, and I get to have a show with you and coach with you, and I can't wait. We got to keep this show going because I've been thinking about how, as hockey comes along, me and you have always coached together, and I think this year and this year I think again I'm going to try for another head coaching position in Pee Wee hockey, and I think you might be too. I don't know, but so I'm thinking about going to head coach in ice. So we'll see. Yeah, not in select though. I'll let somebody else. There's too much going.
We'll see how things work.
That's in the future. Who knows?
We'll see how things work. But like I said.
But anyway, I'm grateful to be alive and 40 and have the friends that I have, and even Maddie in my life. I mean, I'm grateful to have Maddie. Alaska, I can't wait for, but Maddie, so there you go. That's how it goes.
All right. Second half, we usually do the second period. Of course, Frank's just playing catch up with us now. So remaining in the hunt, we have 2 guys. We're down to 2 guys. We lost a lot of guys last night and over the weekend with Chicago, Calgary, and Montreal being eliminated.
Oh,
we have.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Oh, gee, I forgot. I mean, are you heartbroken?
You know, if you were listening to the first period of the show, I did say that, you know, we really played above our expectation. I didn't have us picked as much of a contender. Only reason we're there is because Price played the way he did. Okay. For a team to be as low ranked in scoring as we were and still finish for 110 points. Can you think of anybody else who's better qualified to be a Hart Trophy candidate than Price right now? As far as me and the difference?
You know,
of course, the league only names 3, which I think is wrong, but for every award.
You tenders are so for each other all the time.
Nobody else does.
All 39 starters that had the starting positions this year should be up for.
No, I will firmly agree with that. Disagree with that point.
So, but I was heartbroken for you a little bit, but I kind of wanted to see Tampa Bay. I thought I wanted to see Stamkos go further. Yeah, I think I'd like to see a Stamkos Ovechkin showdown. That's going to be tough.
The thing I really like seeing of this is the architect of the whole Tampa project has been Steve Yzerman. Class act right from the time he played. He never played on a team that I thoroughly enjoyed watching and enjoyed hating a lot. Couldn't help but love the guy. Always performed well internationally when he wore the flag on his jersey.
Absolutely.
Just a class act guy. Now he's showing that he can do it on the GM side. It's great to see.
And he brought a good friend of, pretty decent friend of mine. I don't say him, but Wazdecki. He brought in from Denver University. He was the coach there for many years and brought them to 2 consecutive national champs. Yeah. Brought him as assistant. Matt Carl, I got from Philly, and some connections with Matt and his brother. So
he's drafted extremely well too,
and he's drafted really well.
And he made some good trades. He picked Ben Bishop up for a song from Ottawa,
right? And he's picked up a lot of his trades weren't like these huge NHL trades, but AHL trades as well. So
exactly. So the couple of guys we do have left, we have Mr. Darling. I almost called him Ron Darling. That'd be baseball. That'd be a different show, I guess.
That'd be boring.
Yeah, a little boring. Yeah, replay, just what baseball needed to make it faster. And
He's
of
giving
course,
some timeouts now too.
Yeah. Darling did have a great last series, but he did not move from the bench, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Like I said earlier, I don't expect to see him moving. Mr. Pesky Bolesky, since we called him out, I'd like to accept all the responsibility for this. We called him out a couple weeks ago as not having a great series against Winnipeg. He was on a 5-game scoring streak and has now 5 goals in 9 games, 5 points, still -2.
And Matty,
2-game winners, I might add. Sorry.
he I never expected him.
Mm-hmm.
Never expected. And I said it with much love in my heart for the guy. Never expected him to be this guy that he is now. I thought he'd be a 3rd, 4th line scrapper. Good energy, young.
Yep.
It wasn't big. He's gotten bigger, but he wasn't big, especially when he was here.
Yeah.
He was the small guy, even in the AHL, 3rd, 4th liner. Anaheim always seen something in him.
It's not always about playing your size; it's playing to your size. You know?
But the position, the way he plays it, is for a big guy.
Yep.
His style is for a big guy. So
Yep. I think of guys like Brendan Gallagher, little guy, not afraid to take his lumps, gets in front of the net, takes a pounding, gets up with a smile on his face, it's right back in there. You know, it's playing to your size. And then we've known guys that are 6'4" play with it like they're 4'6".
And who's the Holstrom? And remember in Detroit?
Yeah.
He was not a big guy, but he would stand in front of that net and
take his lumps.
And that's not Matty style, but that's just giving an example of. I remember seeing that guy one time, and I'm like, I mean, he's as big as. Well, he's probably bigger than me, but so is probably 95% of the male population of the world. So, but. He was one of those guys too. So I didn't know that Matt, the big long-term plan with the Anaheim having with Bolesky and it paid off. They seen something and he's doing well. So I'm very, very happy for him.
Actually, that leads us right into our next little thing that I threw together. He is a UFA this summer, unrestricted free agent. And of the Des Moines or Iowa connection boys, 3 big names right now. We have Jeff Petrie from Montreal,
right,
who is making about right now on his contract about $600K.
That's it.
And well, he's still on his entry-level contract. He's just a young guy, and he is going to be an unrestricted free agent. And from everything I hear, he's commanding about $3.5 to $4 a year, $4 million a year. I would love to see him hang on to him. Mobile defenseman, got a great shot. The other guy we mentioned.
Do you have his stats offhand?
He didn't. He actually threw a couple of goals together, but he logged a lot. The thing I can tell you about what the playoffs, he logged a lot of minutes. A lot of minutes. He was and of course, my favorite defenseman stat, he was even.
He was even.
He was even.
Okay.
So a couple of goals in there. One was game winner. Devin Dubnyk, who has a connection to, briefly at least to here, but more so from
where's he at? Bucks?
He actually was briefly assigned here. Did not actually dress or play for Des Moines.
For Wild?
He is for the Wild.
Okay.
And he is also a guy who's up for a UFA and is going to be signing a huge contract somewhere. I would assume back in Mini because they gave him his chance.
Yeah.
Mr. Pesky Bolesky, obviously. 3 other guys that are out there that probably won't do much. Eric Cole, that big injury at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Davis Drawiski, he spent the whole year in the AHL. There you go, picking up goaltenders. Mr. Clemenson, unrestricted free agent this year. I'd like to point out that he was the backup for the Devils this year. Did spend a lot of time in the minors.
Yeah. Made
$312K. That's only $4,000 more than John Curry did here.
Wow.
Wouldn't you love to see number 30, Scott Clemenson, playing for the Iowa Wild?
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Because, even in the USHL, where we do have more local players coming in, you don't see that much in the AHL.
No, absolutely not.
So,
and for him to give a chance to come home, he's on the back end of his career, so you have to wonder. And, of course, Bobby, getting married this summer. Big off-season move for him.
He's not an unrestricted free agent no more.
No, he is going to be signing a lifetime contract.
A lifetime contract, and you know what? People always say, when you get women or you get a professional athlete, I got the big score. I'll tell you what, Bobby scored big with Danielle. She's one of just a beautiful one in a kind type woman. So I'm very happy for him, and we'll be at the wedding. I can't wait. So
can't wait to see pictures.
That is our vacation this year. So since travel hockey is taking up all of our time and money and every other thing we have concerned in life, that was the one thing we were going to go to the wedding, and then we're going to stay in our place in LA and then also go to the wedding. So can't wait for it. It's going to be a blast. So
all right. Well, it looks like we are a little bit overdue to pay some bills, so we're going to kick it over to Maddie, who's going to roll those commercials.
Boo.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs,
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money-back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're gonna make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
All right, we are back for the third period. Talking with my buddy here, Frank. Like I said, haven't had much time to catch up with him lately.
No.
Ran into him for like 3 minutes at practice last night, and he's like running for mayor over there at Skate West. Everybody knows him. Everyone wants to talk to him. So.
We do. It's crazy over there, and especially with. Let me get on this real quick.
Yep.
So at practice yesterday, roller practice, we had our house league roller practice for our older kids, and then we had our explosion come in. First practice after some of our kids really getting it handed to them. And it's funny, and I say this with all jest, but also the truth is our 8U team hadn't lost a game all season long. Every tournament, dominate. Now we go, and a couple of these games, we were dominated. And you can kind of just see where some of the parents had the old, boy, my kid was going to the NHL. Look, now it's, wow, like, this is different levels.
First slice of humble pie, huh?
Very. And when we had the practice yesterday, I mean, I never had the parents pay so much attention to practice as they did last night because I kept saying, And it's not because I'm the greatest coach, or I know I'm a pretty good coach. I know how to reach and get the best out of my players. Every drill was me doing these drills and giving them these talks. You know, what do losers do? They make excuses. What do winners do? We fix it. We fix what's going wrong. We fix the problems, and trying to do that whole. It's time to be humble. Because if I'm humble and if my players are humble, then we're coachable. All right? Because then we can understand, I need to learn more. I got to be, we always say, a student of the game.
Yep.
So last night's practice, no sticks, no pucks.
All ears.
Skate. We tie inner tubes around each player, and we'll make the players pull all the other players. Pull them.
Yeah.
Because we were caught. I mean, there were so many times we were on breakaways and we were getting caught.
Yeah.
Guy was 10 feet behind our guy. And so
what did we tell the kids last year about confidence? It's the most dangerous thing when it's placed in the worst place.
Yep.
In the most inappropriate place. If you have misplaced confidence, that is the worst thing you can possibly have.
And you're hitting it right on the head with coaching our kids this week. Their mistakes were times 10.
Yep.
You know, and they turned the puck over. It wasn't a turnover deep down in the zone. It was a turnover at the point.
Yep.
And I mean, these kids get on their horse and they're gone, and my voice is still, I mean, well, I mean, just to tell them, you know.
Maybe we can get a sponsor for an ENT clinic or something.
I mean, really, this is all summer. This has been the way it's going to, and it was like that last year. But man, I started to thoroughly enjoy it at the end of the tournament. Like I knew, we're going to place high in one of our divisions, but the other ones, and I started to think this is good.
Yep.
Because if we go to nationals, if we go to SIHA in Colorado, which we're going to because we're defending champs there, I don't want to go there and lose.
Yeah.
And if we go undefeated and then we go and we meet this different style of hockey, or we meet a team that gives us a little bit of trouble, I'm afraid the kids would break.
And I wonder how the first practice was for Omaha Select after they lost to us in the Christmas tournament.
Well,
I looked it up. They did not lose. I don't believe they lost much, if at all, up until that point, the season was half over.
They hadn't lost.
They hadn't lost. I'm
even
wondering
in their friendlies, they hadn't lost.
I'm wondering how their first practice went after. Adversity does not. What they said, adversity defines character.
That's right.
So
yeah,
interesting to see.
It's great as a coach when you get to be part of that and be part of the fixing process and going to every player and saying, this was my thing last night, going to the players, and you could do this in any part of your life. When you have a group of people and something's going wrong, you say, you're not the only problem, or you aren't even the problem, but you're definitely part of my solution.
Yep.
And how are you going to be a part of that with me? So There you go.
There's your rant.
There's my rant.
Okay, watch your
There'll
step.
Be another one in 10 minutes.
Watch your step getting off the soapbox. So quickly, I'm going to go over what's going on in local associations. Yes. Des Moines Youth, Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night this month, including tonight. And that's where we're headed right after this. Buffalo Wild Wings on Merle Hay is got a 10% off, 10% of your total bill goes to Des Moines Youth Hockey. So that's going on all month long, Wednesday nights. Hey, there's apparently some good hockey on Wednesday nights. At least there is tonight, Game 7s.
Oh, that's going to be a great game.
Yep. So we're headed there after a couple of wings. And
come hang out with us.
Yep. Come hang out. Stop by. Tell us how much we suck.
Pay for our wings. Come hang out with us.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing. Des Moines Adult League, we've got Sundays and Thursday nights for the intermediate. Registration is still open. Looking to get started next week. This coming Sunday, looking at $200 for 15 games plus playoffs. It's a great deal for the amount of hockey you're going to be playing, and it's personally my favorite league because it's the league I tend to play most in. So,
how's the reffing in that league?
Reffing's reffing.
Do you ref?
No, I do not. I'm retired from the Stripes.
Really?
Yes, I have more than enough respect for them, but I think everyone should have to do two things in hockey: play goal and ref.
I like that saying.
So
I like that.
I'm fine with that. Wild AAA has tryouts.
How about reffing and goaling at the same time?
Well, all goalies are refs. Go ahead.
Is this going to go there? You stole my punchline.
Goal judges as well.
You stole my punchline.
The Wild AAA team has tryouts for the 97 through 04 birth years, May 22nd. That is next weekend at Metro. And go to their website to check that out. Things going on at the rink. They're still doing Monday Night Skills Clinic for 07 through high school, $25 a session. A couple more sessions left. The Ironman 3-on-3 tournament, squirts and peewee division, July 11th, 12th. Guaranteed 6 games. We talked a little bit about that. You can email Max at, I think it's at max@iowawildAAA.com, I believe it is. And a couple of things interesting going on with Des Moines Youth. We're talking about a couple of new things. Something that's come out of nowhere is this, actually at the lower levels, which I would tend to not think, and but it's really gained traction across the Midwest. And that is actually a MITE level. So looking at 8U cross-ice tournaments and tournament teams. Of which
travel
we did
too? Or
it is actually involved a bit of travel. We're looking at it, how we're going to work this into our system. And the reason this really took off is just giving more kids a taste for higher level of play, giving them the cool factor. We know we all, our boys both have seen that, playing travel.
Yep.
Give them exposure to better play. Get them exposure to playing at a higher level if they're ready for it. And it's something we can work through. You can put 6 teams on the ice at a time. But we're looking at that going stronger here locally. Next fall, we'll have Des Moines Youth will have more information on that as registration gets ready to open up. Something also we're looking at transition. We did the RWB model, which USA Hockey said we had to do that cross ice.
Yes.
For the younger levels with the M-shaped nets. Yes. Problem was, once again, USA Hockey doesn't develop goaltenders. You don't see shots until you're at least 10 years old or so.
Sure seems like you're coming to roller for some goalies over there.
So what we're looking at doing is we actually, as a board, have purchased special boards so we can divide the rink in half and play half ice. And
these boards are
regulation size boards.
Nice.
So they're not just the styrofoam or the foam.
Okay.
So you'll be playing half ice. And with the 2/3 size nets that our friends at the Guns and Hoses teams were good enough to pay for, these little 2/3 size nets, so the goalies are not, these little 3-foot tall goalies aren't standing in front of 24 square feet of net.
Because once you get a kid that shoots high, that's it.
Exactly.
He's got them.
But even just laterally, 6 feet's a long way to go when you're only 3 feet tall. But actually, some of the initial trials that we've had in it, really low scoring games, a lot of skating, but it's still not. It's somewhere in between. A lot of puck touches, but it's 4-on-4 half ice. So it really takes, you got a lot more skating, but smaller nets makes it more competitive.
And it does make it more competitive, but it also, and this is one, it doesn't lead to passing, because I think every kid gets the puck and just wants to go, right? Yep. And that was always my issue with it. Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but that's always been I think that a lot of younger ice programs, a lot of hockey programs in general, passing just isn't the first thing, and that's
is carry through everybody,
right? And I've seen it, and I know you've seen it, where systems have come up where a second year squirt, let's say, he's the star athlete on the team, he's the star. Coaches, pass it to Jimmy. Yep. Pass it to Jimmy. Get it to Jimmy.
Stud, let him bury it.
Right. So now Jimmy leaves because now he's a peewee, and that squirt team is horrible.
Yep.
They get dominated.
Yep. So you also look at the other thing that some leagues have looked at doing is the hero rule of capping the number of goals you can score.
Well, yeah, we do that. We do that in roller.
That definitely leads more to passing and more to play, skill play, and even dropping them back on D is not a bad way to go either.
Man, we do. See, what do you find?
Geniuses think alike, man. I'm telling you, fools seldom differ. Your choice, but
it works though.
It works. It works absolutely, and that's the beauty of cross ice. And so other things going on where girls hockey is really taking off here in the Des Moines area. We have to thank people like Jason Wolf for getting that going, and we're going to actually try to get Jason on the show in the next couple of weeks.
Jason on.
Just talk about what's been going on and what other areas are doing, just to show that, you know, this is more than just a typical boy sport. This is definitely, we've got a lot of girls playing in the high school league.
Olympics. I mean, that
goes Olympics. Olympic sport is becoming a legitimate worldwide sport to the point that we are seeing more integrated play. It was years ago. You had boys teams, girls teams. Now in Des Moines Youth, for example, we have, I think, practically every team at some level or another has a girl on their team or more than one, which is great to see. It's everybody's sport. This is not just a boys' sport anymore. Great to see this kind of stuff developing, and great to see this passion for the sport growing with people like him driving the bus there.
And I'm going to tell you, I heard before someone say, my team did not do good because last year my son got stuck with 3 girls on his team.
Yep.
Right. I said, oh, really? Wow, because of the girls. I said, well, you know what? I'd probably take one of those girls over your kid anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my beer league team, actually, I had 5 girls on my team.
Yeah.
Of which they were very, and I'm sure some of them are listening right now. We had a great team. They all played division schools up in Minnesota. All great players, great people, and I don't care who they are as long as you play well.
No.
They were just awesome teammates, awesome to play with, great.
As long as you play defense in front of me when I'm a 10.
Looks like we got to go to a break here, and we'll be right back with the other state of hockey.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can give these grandkids back, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We can help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hey, psst. Let me let you in on a little secret. You ready? Always try to do business with people, not places. Especially if you seek honest Christian business people. And when it comes to my car, I really need to trust who's working on it. Now, my family is so blessed. A few years ago, we found a family-owned automobile repair shop that operates as a Christian business also. Open, honest, reliable, trustworthy. It's AMCO on Hickman Road in front of Kmart, and it's a family-owned Christian operating business. This family treats your car as if it was their car. Everything from oil changes to transmission repair and everything in between. So the next time you feel the need to be at peace with your choice of who you can trust with your car, give AMCO on Hickman a chance to serve you. And tell them Max sent you.
All right, we're back. Well, at least I am right now. Frank is taking his own station break, I guess. So other things pressing right now, and we'll get back with him in a second. So I just really want to quickly go over things that that happened recently. For myself, my boys over this weekend went to the Gretzky Hockey School, and it was probably one of the most phenomenal youth sports events that I have ever been a part of. I myself actually was a volunteer staffer with the school, just working and helping out, keeping things moving along. It was an absolutely phenomenal experience. This was in St. Louis in the Hardyplex. It's a great rink run by Ty Gretzky, who was actually Wayne's second son, 25-year-old kid. This is their first year running this. They got schools all over the country right now. They got 4 or 5 more yet this year. But hoping they'll be back next year in our regional area. And it was a full 2.5 days of nonstop on the ice, dry land, floorball, which is something interesting that I was introduced to. It's somewhere between floor hockey and wiffle ball, to be quite honest. Mm-hmm. But it's an interesting animal, I must say. The big thing I want to point out is that this is what makes hockey such a cool sport. There's no other sport that could have a school like this, this kind of a camp that has the name power of Wayne Gretzky, and you expect, okay, well, maybe he could come by and for 5 minutes wave from the balcony or charge $50 for 3 or 4 autographs and leave again. This camp had pros the whole way. It had Mike Chicascio. Sorry, Mark, if I mispronounce your name. They call him Chachi. He's the New York Rangers strength and conditioning coach, on the ice all the time. Kirk Muller, former Canadiens captain, New Jersey Devil, St. Louis assistant coach right now. He was on the ice. Brett Hull was there. Great to see the Golden Brett out there. He was out there, pumping the kids' tires. And while they weren't probably as excited to see him as some of the parents, but great to see that star power. Kelly Chase, St. Louis goon, for lack of a better word, but great guy. He's a funny guy to be around.
Goons always are.
Hey,
Goons always are the nicest guys.
Yep. He has no aggression left, right? He's all taken care of. No work stress. So Terry Yake, once again, Ranger Whaler player. He was on the ice all the time.
You play with a ball at this thing?
For floorball, yeah. We can
they played floorball there?
Floorball was their dry land training.
Gotcha.
We can talk about it after, but Peter Ing was there for the goaltenders. Yeah. Bryce Salvador, captain of New Jersey Devils, was there as well. If you look on our Facebook page, I did post a few pictures that I did get. But coming back to the star power, Wayne was there. Wayne was there on the ice Friday night with a couple of the groups. He was out signing autographs. He just walked around like a normal guy, got in line to buy his coffee, walked around. There's no security. The biggest thing we had was concern about kids running around photobombing.
No Marty McSorley.
No Marty McSorley. Honestly, I was the Marty McSorley for a while, standing guard so people could get their pictures taken and autographs.
So wait, now was Wayne... for one, did the kids recognize him right away, or
when you consider the age groups, none of these kids were born by the time he retired.
Yeah,
but he's one of those. He's just the name power. It's the basketball equivalent of Jordan, or the football equivalent of Montana, or whatever you want to get into. Living legend. That's that word's used over. Phrase.
Did you ever see his wife?
Way too much. Yes, she was there.
Was she really?
Yes. Don't believe I posted the picture, but my wife did take a quick snap.
Wow.
She was there, and.
She's still hot.
Of course. Wayne was there. He spent probably 2.5 hours.
You keep saying Wayne like he's your boy.
He's my boy, man. I got pictures with him, so we're
the Wayner. Me and the Wayner.
Yeah. Chris Pronger was there, and
how'd that go?
He was there because his kids. He obviously we know he can't skate anymore because of the concussion problems.
Oh yeah.
But he's still on payroll, of course. Your boys are paying that out. We appreciate that.
I thought they're trying to get out. Something happened, right? Didn't he say?
I think they're just probably going to ride it out at this point. I think he's probably got a year left. But his kids were in my kids' sessions, and just got a quick picture with him. Anybody tells you he's, a
jerk?
Any kind of a jerk or weenie or whatever, they're probably absolutely right.
Bing. Yeah.
But anyways, it was a phenomenal thing. I highly recommend it for anybody who is in the area. Like I said, Wayne was there. It was a great experience. I have jerseys signed. I have pictures signed. Got to shake his hand. Had a phenomenal weekend run. It was very well run. The boys retired. They slept the whole night. No issues.
And you were right by where I was. We were both in St. Louis.
Yeah, never saw each other.
It was a great weekend.
Excellent hockey weekend. So we'll go right into we're in the final stretch here. Only about 8 or 9 minutes left.
I put you in charge of the show, and look at us. We're all over the place.
Exactly. So I got the emergency start on this one. Being the emergency backup, I was willing to jump into my role.
Maddie, your coach. I went back in tomorrow.
Yeah, well, you got to earn your time, bud. So Stanley Cup. We talk about the cup facts here. Right now, we know that it is the oldest single professional trophy in any sport.
Any sport.
America's Cup tried to say theirs is, but it's not.
The one on the boat? The boat
yes,
American
yes,
Cup? Please.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
The boat is the athlete.
Yeah, exactly. So it's starting off 1892. The Governor General of Canada, Lord Stanley of Preston, bought this thing for his little bowl trophy for 10 guineas, which is about $50 equivalent at the time.
Okay.
It went to the top amateur hockey club at the time. First awarded to the Montreal Amateur Athletic Association in 1893. Okay. That association, for those
what was the name? Was there a name? Did they have a name?
No, that was it. Montreal Amateur Athletic Association.
Real creative.
Yes, they actually later on became known as the Canadian Athletic Association and the Canadian Athletic Association of Hockey, who became the Montreal Canadiens.
Okay.
Useful information.
There it is.
A little snippet. There are actually 3 Stanley Cups.
I thought there was 2.
No. The original bowl, which was on the top of the trophy at one point.
Yeah.
And at one point, it was the only thing that was actually handed around. That was retired in the 60s.
Okay.
Because it wasn't putting up with the abuse, as you can imagine, going around. In 1963, Clarence Campbell decided that they would make the current variation of the cup, which is if you look back through the pictures of the history, there was the skinny cup and all that kind of stuff. The 5-ring model that we see now, that was instituted in 1963. That is called the presentation cup. And that is actually what is on the ice. That's actually what's at the All-Star game. That's what, all the...
Is that the one the players get trouble with?
That is the one the players actually travel with.
Okay.
So in 1993, last year, the cup was won by a Canadian team, I might add.
Yeah.
There was a replica that was commissioned
John LeClair.
Yes, John
John
LeClaire,
LeClaire,
Mr.
America.
Overtime Hero.
Yes.
7 overtime winners. Yeah, and we got rid of him for nobody. All right, the replica cup was made.
To who?
It was a replica of the
To
presentation.
who? Who'd you
cup.
get rid of him to?
Philly. Yeah, you're welcome. You gave us
Him and Eric Lindros.
Yeah.
And
No, it
Michael Remberg. That was no. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that line.
Yes,
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Sorry, I was thinking who
The
we
Legion
got
of
rid
Whom is what they used to say.
Yeah. So the replica cup actually lives at the Hall of Fame and is out on out when the presentation cup is on the road.
Okay.
So there's always a Stanley Cup at the Hall of Fame.
So it's like me and you. Like when I'm not here, the real
There's
Stanley
always
Cup,
somebody
you're
here.
standing.
Exactly.
Okay,
The
gotcha.
show must go on. So, as far as names, Henri Richard holds the record for the most times on the cup as a player with 11.
Wow.
More cup rings than he has
Imagine
fingers.
that.
Yep. Scotty Bowman is the most on there for a coach at 9. Jean Beliveau is on there 10 times, being a player, exec, and team president. This trophy actually has a couple interesting things. It has full-time keepers.
Yes. Yeah,
Phil Pritchard is the guy who's in all those MasterCard commercials. He actually is a real full-time job of just lugging the cup around. Stanley Cup has its own Twitter and Facebook account.
Yes, it does.
It has more followers than we do, but I think actually checked this morning, there are over 256,000 followers on Twitter of the Stanley Cup.
My dead mom's cat has more followers on Twitter than I do. So
We got to get that cat on the show. So, the cup is a couple of interesting facts. Cup's been on the bottom of 3 swimming pools.
okay, who put them there? You know? Anyone?
I can tell you whose pool they were. It was Mario's pool, Patrick Waugh's pool, and Dominic Hasek's pool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, why would Dominic Hasek have the cup? When did he get the
Because
cup?
he won it when he was with Detroit.
Oh, that's right. Wow.
1905, it did spend a day and night at the bottom of the Rideau Canal. Apparently the victim of some overzealous partying after winning it.
Not hockey players.
I know. It's actually been left behind by 2 different teams. One was left in 1924, I believe, left in a snowbank by where the team bus was picking him up. And another time,
There's not enough room.
Yeah, the Montreal Wanderers is a defunct team now. Left the cup in the charge of the team photographer after team photographs were done.
Okay.
He left it behind, and his mother did not know what it was and actually used it as a flower pot.
Oh.
So there you go. There's an interesting version of
There
it.
was a baby that pooped in it.
There was 2 kids actually baptized in it.
Okay,
So
I know
Van
one
Fabe
pooped in it.
and Thomas Holmstrom. I'm sure it was one of them. It's been to war. I went to Kandahar to support the troops in 2007.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yep.
Wonder if it's bulletproof.
I don't know.
it's-
It is insured. How much do you think it's insured for?
$3 million.
$100,000.
Oh,
Yep, not kidding you. Jacques Plante's been on there 5 times. Each time his name was misspelled.
really?
Not once is it spelled correctly. 35 and a quarter inches, almost 3 feet tall, 35 pounds, but takes an entire team to lift.
That's right.
I love that saying.
I love. You know what I love is who was it? I think it was Matt. You better stop bossing us around.
She's pushy, you know.
Yeah, who was the one he separated his shoulder and still came out and lifted it? I think he played.
You don't feel pain at that point, brother.
No,
You don't feel
But
pain.
you could tell he was one similar. But man, imagine lifting that.
Yep. So speaking of Maddie and bossy women, how many women do you think names are on the Stanley Cup? Maddie's is not one of them, but we'll see.
There's only one name on my cup. I don't know. How many women?
There are 7.
7?
7.
So execs, front office.
Yes, actually, the first one was Mrs. Norris, who was the
Norris
president. Norris Trophy. She was the president of the Detroit Red Wings back in the 50s. So there are 6 others, of which my wife will kill me for not looking up.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to mention that because it's an interesting fact. Couple of quick ones. First American team to win Stanley Cup.
New York Rangers.
Seattle.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
First expansion team. I'm picking you up.
Flyers.
In what year?
74. 73.
And 75.
Well, yeah, 2 years back
Yep.
to back.
No winner. When was there never a winner?
Other years were the strikes, I guess.
Strikes, yes, but also 1919.
Why?
Influenza outbreak. First NHL team, because as we said earlier, it was for amateur teams only. First NHL team to win it was the Toronto Arenas in 1918. NHL first took ownership of the Stanley Cup fully in 1926.
Wow. So it belonged to like just
It was just a
club.
passed around trophy between amateur teams.
Hey, Maddie, before we get going here, don't bang on the glass, but I wanted to say that with hockey and all that it goes into the NHL and the teams, one of the coolest things I remember is that if you work in the front office, like you work in our office right now, so if we win an award, we have to give you something, right? Did you know that like everyone in the front office gets rings?
Yeah.
And so when I worked in the American Hockey League, even those front office would get Calder Cup rings and all. Man, I couldn't imagine.
Actually, when the Ducks won it, they gave the off-ice officials rings as well. I have a friend of mine, Lloyd Freeberg. Hope he's listening. I know he likes our page. He actually was the goal judge, and Light 'em Up Lloyd did get a replica ring given to him from the team.
Wow. I couldn't imagine that.
I know. I have a replica of a Calder Cup championship ring from last year, but
No, it's not a replica. These bad boys right here, these ain't replicas. You know what? Before we go, I'm going to tell you, all my kids always say, when you get these, because these things are heavy. You felt them, right?
Yep.
Heavy. I mean, my son loves when he wins these. So anyway, all his friends always say, it's not really made out of silver, you know, just because they get jealous or whatever. And I say, you know what? It's not made out of silver. You know what it's made out of? Hard work, practice,
and heart.
and heart. That's
All
what
right.
makes this. Right
We got to
here.
get out of here. Maddie's giving us a wrap up. And
Maddie, put that middle finger down.
next week, next Wednesday, same time, Game 7 coming up. Meet us at Buffalo Wild Wings. Great show for those of you who are here full pull.
Full show, yeah.
Thanks, Maddie. We will catch you guys next week on The Other State of Hockey.